What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the video. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today I am here with the 2025 Subaru Outback XT Touring. This is the highest non-hybrid trim level for the Subaru Outback that money can buy. And a huge thank you to Subaru because this is the first vehicle that they have sent me to review. I haven't gotten to spend any extended period of time with any Subaru models, so I'm very grateful to get the opportunity to do that, and hopefully there will be many more to come. So now let's jump right into it, starting off with the ride quality. Fantastic. This is an incredibly smooth riding vehicle. The level of comfort is outstanding, and when you pair that with all the really nice premium materials that are in the interior, the driving experience overall, it feels very premium. And what's so great about this wagon form factor is that it rides like a sedan but still has the capabilities of an SUV. On the topic of suspension, this has McPherson struts in the front with coil springs and a double wishbone setup in the rear, also with coil springs. Now, here in New Jersey, we have a ton of potholes, a ton of uneven road surfaces, as you can see here. Now I'm kind of purposely trying to go over some of these bumps. We don't have any adaptive dampers or anything like that, but we do have gas pressurized shock absorbers, and I think they do a pretty good job. I think the way Subaru tunes their suspension is quite impressive, the way that they're able to balance out having a ride that's super comfortable, but also super capable. And this Outback is equipped with X mode that does help with off-roading. And other than that, there aren't really any designated drive modes like a sport mode. And now that leads me into the powertrain. So what we have here is a 2.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder boxer engine that puts out 260 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque. And that is paired with a CVT. And while this is a CVT, it is programmed to mimic an 8-speed automatic transmission, although I do think it certainly leaves something to be desired, but more on that later. And the Outback comes standard with Subaru symmetrical all-wheel drive. And fuel economy ratings are combined 25 miles per gallon, that's 22 in the city and 29 on the highway. And for an engine that's this torquey, I'd say that's alright. Not great, but it's alright. But if having the best engine isn't a priority for you, you could step down to the non-turbo Outback Touring or to the hybrid. Both of those options will give you better fuel economy. So now we're going to go into an acceleration test and see what happens. Now, as you can see on the back of the wheel, this does have paddle shifters, but there aren't actually any gears to shift into. That's the thing. The CVT, it mimics shifts, but in reality, these things don't actually do anything. So there is no sport mode to put this thing into. There is the manual mode, but I just don't really see the point of using it. So I'm just gonna keep it in regular drive mode. That's what the majority of people are gonna do. All right, gonna come to a complete stop. No brake torque, we're just gonna go. Now, despite this having a CVT, really good low-end torque. You can feel the exact moment where the torque kicks in. There's a little bit of turbo lag as expected, and while it is certainly more than quick enough, the way the transmission behaves is a little strange. And if you need to rewind 10 seconds back, take a close look at the tachometer. So as you're accelerating in first gear, you see it go all the way up, it approaches redline, and then when it shifts, it only drops down like somewhere between 500 and 1,000 RPM. And then at that point, it's kind of just bouncing back and forth very unnaturally. See, if it was naturally emulating an automatic transmission, that would drop down significantly more. And also the sound, it sounds like a CVT. It has a little bit of that droney sound, but I will say, not as loud as some other automakers. I think a good example of a CVT that actually mimics an automatic well is the CVT in the Acura Integra, because just like this, it's a non-hybrid, it has over 200 horsepower, but it feels very natural and you forget that you're driving a car with a CVT. And you know, about a decade ago in the 2010s, there was a big wave of automakers switching to CVTs to save on fuel economy. But I think a lot of brands have realized that, especially in the higher trim levels with turbo engines and whatnot, that's not really what customers want. And this current generation of the Outback came out in 2020, and there will be a redesign for 2026 next year. I completely understand a CVT on the lower trim level without the turbo, but I think in a 4-cylinder turbo that's pushing almost 300 horsepower, the CVT feels a little out of place, but overall still performs pretty well. Now, with the CVT part aside, the engine, the way it delivers power, is a little bit all over the place. It's not like a smooth, linear delivery of power. It has a lot of moments where it kind of just jerks and lunges forward, and then other moments when you have your foot all the way down and you almost feel kind of like a brief disconnect or like a lapse in the delivery of power. And I mean, look, it still manages to get the job done in a timely manner, but it's just a little all over the place, that's all. Alright, so now we are out here on the highway. Now, road noise here on the highway, not as high as I would expect. Tiny bit of wind noise that comes in from the edges of the windows. Now let's give it some gas. Now, it's a nice sounding engine. It's not overly loud. The CVT kind of just throws off the sound a little bit though. It just sounds a little bit weird when it shifts because of the CVT, but I really like how quiet the engine is. And once you put your foot down, once you're already in motion, that little bit of lag is still there, but then you can feel that lunge forward as soon as the torque kicks in. And the thing that's interesting about it is that it kind of feels similar to when you're in an electric car and it accelerates, because it's almost like an instant power delivery. You can just feel the force of it kind of throw you back. That's kind of how this feels when the torque kicks in. And 277 pound-feet, I mean, that's a pretty respectable number for a car this size. And out here on the highway too, the ride quality, it's fantastic. It's still nice and smooth. We're riding on 18-inch wheels, and these tires have a 60 series sidewall, so that's quite a beefy tire. And these Yokohamas that we're riding on, they're nice and quiet. And very little vibration coming from the tires as well. So while this Outback is showing its age in a few areas, one area where I think it does better than a lot of the new vehicles on the road today is the adaptive cruise control system that Subaru calls their eyesight system, and their radar system that they use. The sensors are up here. There's 2 of them. On most vehicles it's only 1, but here there's 2 sensors up here. So now that we're like kind of in stop and go traffic, I think it's a good time to test it out. So first, we're going to make sure lane keep assist, or the lane centering assist, is on. Then we hit the button there, and we set the speed. So let's see, I got it at 53. Now, while this doesn't have a head-up display, you can see when the system is on, there's a little green light that illuminates up there. Okay, good job with braking. That's not me, that's the car. And it does give you a nudge to keep your hands on the wheel, but it doesn't make any audible sound, so it's not that annoying. A lot of cars are really annoying with that. And let's see how it does on this turn right here. Keep hands on wheel. Okay, a little bit of drifting there. Now, I took that same turn last night. It did better that time. You see, what most of these systems don't do is use the radar to detect sharp turns coming up in the road and then slowing the vehicle down accordingly. Most of these systems, they'll only apply the brakes for a vehicle that's in front. It detects obstacles, but it doesn't factor in changes in the road itself. And I think that's something across the board all brands need to work on. And I kind of feel like a broken record at this point, because I say that in almost all my test drive videos, but I think that would be a game changer for anyone who could implement that. But aside from that one turn back there, I've had no issues with the system. It's been one of the better systems that I've driven. But you do need to watch out for those sharper turns in the road when you're going at higher speeds. This 2025 Subaru Outback Touring XT has a 12-speaker Harman Kardon audio system, so let's take a listen. I'm actually thoroughly impressed with the audio system. The power that this thing puts out, I found to be kind of surprising. It can go really loud without getting compressed or distorted. The balance is good between bass, mid, and treble, and the overall clarity is pretty good too. Now, is it like Bowers & Wilkins level crystal clear? No, but it's extremely good for what it is. And the other thing with the audio system is that even though it goes loud without the compression, without the distortion, there's also very little rattling in the interior. Overall, I've been very impressed with the build quality. Everything just feels so tightly put together. When you open the door and close it, I mean, this thing just feels like a tank. And it is widely known that the Subaru Outback is one of the safest vehicles on the road. One of Subaru's biggest selling points is safety. Sure, you have the weekend adventurers that like to take it out, but also a lot of families with young kids. You see them all the time buying Subarus. Right on this very street at that last traffic light I was sitting at a few years back, there was a crazy accident there, a rollover. Car rolled over 3 times, and it was a Subaru Outback, and that lady, I remember, walked away without a scratch. And also, the car didn't even look like it had that much damage, despite the fact that it just rolled over 3 times. So needless to say, I feel extremely safe in here. Alright, now we're out here at the back roads to test out the steering and the handling of the Outback. The tuning of the steering is fantastic. It's on the tighter side, which is just the way I like it. Now, typically you don't find steering this tight unless you're in like sport mode, but this not having any drive modes, you just get one tuning for the steering. They opted to go heavier, and I'm here for it. And with this being a wagon, being much, lower center of gravity, it handles a lot like a sedan and not much like an SUV. So very little body roll, feels quite agile. Take this sharper turn here. See, not afraid to throw it around a little bit. The symmetrical all-wheel drive system keeps it nice and planted. Now, as you probably heard before, when you really throw it into a corner like that, there is a little bit of wheel spin, maybe just a little bit of understeer. And as for the response time of the steering, pretty quick to respond. Subaru has a long history of racing, and they're also known for the JDM legend, the WRX STI. And especially in the steering, you can feel a bit of that sporty DNA kind of in there. And lastly, the brakes. They work well, they have good bite, they don't leave anything to be desired. And you know what? The last several press cars that I've had have all been hybrids that have regenerative braking. And it feels kind of refreshing to have something for once that doesn't have that. Just has a much more natural feel. MSRP of this 2025 Subaru Outback Touring XT with all its options is $46,306. Again, I want to give a huge thank you to Subaru for loaning me this Outback to keep for an entire week so that I can give you guys the most thorough review possible, and I'm really looking forward to driving some of the other models as well. And an in-depth walk around of all the design and features is coming soon, so be on the lookout for that. But let me know your thoughts on the Outback down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please share with a friend and subscribe. It'll really help the channel grow. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. And be sure to follow @Optical Automotive on TikTok and Instagram, and check out the page on Facebook. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.